What's up? Tyler here, weekly metal reviews here with an album review. We haven't done as many recently and haven't put up many videos recently, which is inexcusable on our part. So I'm putting up a new fucking video right now, and I'm going to be talking about a pretty big album in the world of metal, and that is the new Amon Amarth album entitled Deceiver of the Gods. This comes out June 25th on Metal Blade Records. So let's talk about it. I reviewed the title track, the first single that they released, whenever they did, way back April, May, something like that. And that's a great song. I mean, it grew on me a lot more even after I reviewed it. Even when I did, I still really enjoyed it. And, you know, I was like, this album should be pretty good. Then they put out Shapeshifter, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool, you know. But getting the feeling from both of those songs that this album might not live up to With Odin on Our Side, or Surtur Rising, or Twilight of the Thunder Gods, basically their past three records. And I'm afraid that that's kind of how it is. And this album's not bad, though. Please don't get mad at me. This album actually has some very, very, very strong tracks on it, including the title track. Father of the Wolf is the best song on this album, if you ask me. That song really reminded me, almost in ways of just, it had that Guardians of Asgard feel. It just had that very solid riff, that the entire song was built around that riff with just some excellent drumming that really just drove the song along, going 150 miles an hour. The rest, I feel, you know, is going maybe 70, you know. Some songs are going 150, but the rest are lagging behind. Some of the songs are just kind of hit and miss. It's not like with the past three records. I felt like pretty much every song was just golden. It was fantastic. But this album, you know, I would say there's about maybe three or four tracks that are just kind of like, eh. But other than that, it's really solid. I mean, like I was saying, where did I leave off? Father of the Wolf is fantastic. Shapeshifter. We Shall Destroy in the final track. Warriors of the North are just tracks that all stood out to me. And those tracks just have that classic Amon Amarth feel. They have those really awesome tremolo picking leads that kind of go along with the chorus or something. Some very epic choruses, some very grinding riffs. The one in We Shall Destroy is one of the most crushing riffs I've heard all year. One of the most heaviest, balls out, just fucking in your face, heavy Amon Amarth riffs they've ever written. That song is awesome. And Shapeshifter's just a great, just pounding right in your face, just how it's like, you know, very catchy riffs. And those songs really stood out to me as, you know, Amon Amarth is Amon Amarth does. But the other ones, I felt like they were just almost filler tracks. They weren't up to par with the rest, I felt. There was the one song, Hell. And that song is definitely the most experimental song on this album. It has clean vocals in it. I'm not sure who does them, but the voice did sound very familiar. If anybody can let me know who does the clean vocals in that track, I would love you. I'll give you a thumbs up and a cookie. Not being a sarcastic ass, I would give you a cookie. But anyways, the clean vocals, I felt they were at times very, very cool, and they really worked, but other times they just felt like they were, you know, how do I put it? There was too much emphasis on them, and I'm not saying that it's bad. I mean, Amon Amarth, to me, I don't think of Amon Amarth with clean vocals. I just felt like, you know, they came in as some weird, like, you know, harmony type thing in the background, then they actually started to sing along with what Johan Greg was saying, and I just felt like he didn't stand out after when they came in, that he just kind of took the back seat to the clean vocals, because that's what you're focusing on, because, you know, it's the first Amon Amarth song with clean vocals. I just felt at times they were really awesome, and him and the clean vocals, Johan, and the clean vocals were awesome, but at times they were just kind of like, they could have done without them, I guess I should say. Personal opinion, of course. And I just felt like the other songs, when, you know, I listened to them, that they just lacked that riff or that vocal part or something that really makes Amon Amarth what Amon Amarth are, and what makes them, you know, special and stand out from everybody. This album has absolutely fantastic vocals, fantastic drumming, and fantastic production all the way through. Johan Gregg sounds the best that he's ever had, in my opinion. He sounds amazing on here. He hits some of the most brutal lows I've ever heard, especially in the song Under Siege. About halfway through, he'll hit this low, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is awesome. And I feel like he uses a lot more high screams on this album, and I love when he uses highs. They are so good, and he uses them so perfectly on this album. Like, he sounds absolutely giant, gargantuan, like he's just coming out of the CD and just eating you fucking alive, and it's fantastic. And the drumming, when I listen to Amon Amarth, I always really notice the drumming a lot. And, you know, that doesn't happen with other bands as much, but for some reason Amon Amarth really stand out. Just, this is no different. I was listening to the drums and I was like, damn, there's some very great and inventive beats on here, some very, you know, nice skill that's being shown, and just a lot of talent in whoever the drummer's name is. I apologize, I should have done my research on him and the other members' names before I did this review, so I apologize. But anyways, he's fantastic. His fills, I always think, are, they always really stand out to me, and just how he effectively uses all of his cymbals. And, you know, I'm not really a drummer, so I can't, you know, speak fluently about, you know, oh, this double kick pattern, this blah blah blah, but they always stand out to me, and the drumming is no different. And getting to the production, this could arguably be the best production Amon Amarth has ever had. I mean, the past 3 albums have sounded very good, but this one sounds very, very, very good. I noticed the bass sticking out. One thing that I've never noticed really in an Amon Amarth album, so that's pretty cool. And the bass actually has like a standout moment. I'm not just saying I noticed the bass because of one of the songs on here where the bass actually does stand out, the track Under Siege. In other songs, I really did notice it. It really did stick out to me. Overall, I feel that this is a very solid album. I wouldn't say it's as good as the past 3, but I would put it right up there with like Fate of Norns or Versus the World. This is probably even above them, you know. Personal opinion. I just feel that some tracks just could have been better. They lack something. They lack, you know, maybe just that riff that Amon Amarth, you know, always has to kick your ass, or like I said, that vocal line or something, or, you know, that hook, that beefiness, that something is just missing from a couple songs on here. But then there's some songs on here, the majority of the album is just classic Amon Amarth, if you ask me. Like, some of these songs just fit right in with, you know, classic Amon Amarth songs. I would say about 6 or 7 out of the 10 tracks on this album really do. So this is a very solid effort. I personally, I don't know if this will make my top 10 list at the end of the year, because there's just been so many good albums, and this just fits right along with great albums that have been coming out this year, including June. But you know, I did expect a lot from this album, just because they've been on a roll recently, and I would say they're still on a roll. They just maybe missed it just by a little bit. So I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and sticking around. Once again, I apologize that we have not uploaded many videos recently. That's going to change. We've been, you know, if any of you have not watched our little update that we put up, please go watch that, you know, because we're going to be incorporating just a little bit of video game stuff from our Game Impulse channel on this channel for a couple weeks until we get some upgrades. Go watch that video. I'll link it or something. So once again, thank you. Bye. Oh, and I'm going to give this album, I didn't rate it, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.